Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. We have Agent Power Huddle getting kicked off. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast, and we are in the middle of a once in a decade snowstorm out on the East Coast. So hopefully, for those of you who might be snowed in, you can come and join us for some real estate training this morning. Uh, what I'm, what we know about these Agent Power Huddle trainings is that they are good to go back and listen to over and over and over. You can pick the topic of your choice and just let it play in the background or go specifically to the training that you feel like will help you with where you are in your business and in your journey and take that training in and hopefully it's helpful. I know that it is for me and has been for years. My name is Matthew Hanks. I'm your host for today. My wife Susan is on as well. Welcome, Susan. And I want to give a big shout out to Jesse and to Autumn for creating the Agent Power Huddle and keeping it going and organizing this, producing it, putting that content out as a way of helping agents all over the world, really. So that's super exciting. I am in the Charlotte, North Carolina market. Just outside of Charlotte, over on the west side of Charlotte is Gastonia. That's where we are, and have been in the business for a little over 20 years. I've been with EXP for about 6 or 7 years. We are 5 years in a row with the icon status, which is great that EXP does that. If you're not familiar with that, you should look into it. Probably everyone with EXP is aware of that. But very exciting to have that support from agents all over the country, including Autumn and including Jesse, who have been so helpful in the journey. So thank you for that. Today's topic we're getting into today is the idea of what is holding you back in your business and in your life. I picked this topic because it was something that I felt like would challenge me. That's how I like to lead and how to train is what is going to be, what can I get out of it myself for the training and pick something that maybe has been helpful to me in the past and is be helpful today. And what I like about this topic is that you can go back and listen to this over and over. And no matter where you are in your journey, there's something that's holding you back. Now, I want to give a caveat to this. I'm not one of those coaches that says the automatic answer, no matter where in your business, is more business, more transactions, more time spent. I'm not that guy. There's plenty of those out there. So if you think about this and we talk about the business, we're talking about where you are in the business. The goal is not to say if you're at 20 transactions a year, you have to be at 30 this year. You have to be at 40 because that is that can be a never ending thing that will just leave you exhausted and worn out. And I like to look at this from the standpoint of it doesn't have to necessarily be the business growing, but it could be other endeavors that you're involved in. It could be time with your family. It could be where you are in your spiritual journey. It could be where you are in your fitness journey and physically taking care of yourself. So the topic today being what's holding you back could be related to a number of things in life. And it really could apply if you have a goal somewhere you're trying to get to, it could apply to um, any portion of that. So we're going to dive into the training today, and I'm going to approach it from the standpoint of questions, thought-provoking questions. So I have a few questions to ask, and as I ask this, just think about the area of your life that you feel like you might be stuck or you might be being held back that you won't break through in. Think about where you are, you're trying to get to. And as I ask the question, think about it because we'll discuss it a little bit. And think about immediately what comes to mind. And there may be a time where I ask the question like, I have to think on that one a little bit and come back and listen to this again. So here's, and we're talking specifically about real estate for right now, although it can apply to other areas. Here's a question to ponder. If my income doubled next year, what would I immediately stop doing? So the tasks that are on your list today, what's keeping you busy and engaged right now? It's on your to-do list right now. Where are you spending your time? If your income were to double now or in the future, what of those items would you immediately stop doing? And that's probably going to identify some busy work, some areas where you're wasting time, some things that could be delegated, some things that could be grouped together and done at different times, What tasks are on your plate right now that you would immediately stop doing if your income doubled? And a follow-up question to that is, why am I still doing it now? There's your follow-up question. Say if my income doubled and I would stop doing it then, well, what's holding you back from cutting that out and stop doing it now if the goal is to double the income? This question is going to force honesty about wasted motion, wasted time, wasted energy. In real estate, we have a habit of filling our days with things that feel productive and don't actually produce, whether it's time spent on social media or it could be design work. I tell you, the times that I don't edit my own videos any longer, but I did for a long time. I'm just throwing that out as an example. But if you're trying to do your own design work for social media, or you're trying to edit your own photos, edit your own videos, things like that, man, it is a time suck. It takes forever. And if your income doubled, you'd probably quit doing that. So how quickly can you stop doing it now? We don't want to keep those low value habits just because they're comfortable. Oftentimes they are comfortable. If you work on a flyer, we had an open house that we were doing and we wanted to do something special about this open house. And we have our system, we have our pattern, but we said, we're going to spend some time getting this one just right. Gosh, it takes hours. And that may not be the best time of your best use of your time. If your income doubled, you probably would not be doing that. If you wouldn't keep doing it with a higher level of success, you probably should not be doing it now. Hope that resonates with some folks out there. All right, next question to ponder. Am I building a real business or just hustling week to week and calling it entrepreneurship? Now, this one, no matter where you are in your real estate journey, is probably one to consider. Are you building a real business or just hustling week to week and calling it entrepreneurship? So that's our question. Because if you're building a business has systems, routines, and predictability. Hustle is going to generate the feast or famine, the ups and downs, because you don't have the systems that keep things steady. The times of panic in our business, and it just repeats over and over. Real estate's, it's wild in that way. You don't see it in property management so much. You don't see it in insurance and those other businesses that have residuals, but real estate, it's feast or famine and it's up and down. And if you don't have systems, you're not approaching it as a business, that is definitely holding you back. We do not want random marketing. We don't want inconsistent prospecting. And you certainly don't want to approach the business without a plan. You really need a plan. That's the difference between living intentionally and reacting to whatever the week throws at you. And I say the week, but it could be the day. Our days are all over the place. I have a listing right now where they think there might be a leak in the plumbing for the in the laundry area. So they want me to go over and run a load of laundry and video it with a timestamp to verify that there is not leaking of the plumbing in the laundry area. Now, how many, when you're in real estate school, did they mention to you that, oh yeah, by the way, running your laundry, that's something that will be valuable in this business? Tell you what, you never know what the day will throw at you or what the week will throw at you. But the most successful of us in the business, I can say this after 20 years of doing this, your goal is to be an architect, to build those systems and that structure for the business rather than being a firefighter and putting out fires all the time. All right, next question. What do you avoid first thing in the morning? With our topic being what's holding you back, I bet that points pretty quickly to what is holding you back. Because if you can get that thing that is that's you're avoiding first thing in the morning, if you can identify that, you know the concept of eat the frog, get it done first thing in the morning, it's holding you back. If you can identify that thing that's holding you back first thing in the morning, or what you're avoiding the very first thing, that is very likely the thing that is holding you back. And not just in your morning, but it's holding you back all throughout your day, your week, and ultimately in your business and your career. Whatever you dodge owns your ceilings. For real estate agents, we're talking specifically real estate, it's usually our calls, our follow-ups, our prospecting, and oftentimes those difficult conversations. Eventually, over time, avoidance will shrink your confidence. spiritually or personally, the thing you avoid is often the thing that would actually make you feel lighter if you just did it. So look to your mornings and what you're avoiding. Think of it as your crystal ball. It shows your biggest barrier. I hope that resonates with you guys because, man, just if you just logged onto the call just enough to hear that, what is the thing you're avoiding? Well, that answers the question. What is holding you back? Don't avoid it. I had a friend that sent me a video yesterday. We're snowed in here on the East Coast, like I mentioned, and they have a pool at their house, and it showed them getting out there. They had a coat on. They took the coat off. They jumped in on one side of the pool, swam to the other side of the pool. It's like, imagine the mental fortitude it would take to jump in that icy cold water, swim to the other side, and he did it with his son. Like, oh yes, there's nothing. Everything else he faces for the rest of the day is going to feel easy compared to what he just did. And he did. I'm sure he was avoiding it for a moment, but he did it. It's out of the way, and you feel lighter, like you're running downhill for the rest of the day. Welcome, Jesse. I gave you a shout out earlier in the call. I wanted to thank you for, even after all these years, Agent Power Huddle still going, all the training, all the resources that you put together. You thought this up and you've kept it going. So gave you a big shout out at the beginning of the call.
Well, thanks for being here. I had to get my kids out the door to school. I missed the first couple minutes, but I heard the perfect thing when I just jumped in right there. I was like, oh, I needed to hear that today too, Matthew. So I was excited to come and listen to you.
Yeah. Oh man, I appreciate that, Jesse. You're too kind. Well, I'm approaching this from the standpoint of questions that we can ask ourselves, and we can do it all throughout our journey in life and in real estate, and it would identify the things that are holding us back. The topic for today: what is holding you back? And so we just ask a couple questions. First question: that what if my income doubled next year? What would I immediately stop doing? Next question: are you building a business, or are you just hustling week to week and calling that entrepreneurship? Third question is, what do I avoid first thing in the morning? If we had a bigger audience, man, I'd pause there and just start asking everybody, like, what is it? Let's identify it. I'm an action kind of guy. Let's just figure it out right now. And whatever it is, let's get it done and move on.
I can tell you what I'm avoiding.
You want to share with us?
Yeah,
Something come to mind?
you want a little interaction?
Let's do it.
So I've decided that the school that my kids go to is a wonderful school, and I keep bumping into people there that have recently bought or sold a house or recently hired a realtor that was not me. And I noticed this pattern. I'm like, man, I am really blowing it. I need to be deeper involved and want to serve the community, but also from a business standpoint, these are people that in this market, they're still buying and selling houses. And so I've started this campaign, and I'm working on a project without going into too much details. And I need to text pretty much most of the parents to let them know what I'm working on. And I do a couple of it and then I stop and I need to, like, that's the thing that I know I need to sit down, and I don't know why it's holding me back, but I'm shifting my role of how I show up in this parent community. So I know when I jumped in and I heard you say that, the first thing I heard, I was like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do first thing in the morning, every morning, is I need to hit a certain amount of these and connect with parents. That's what I'm working on right now. So thank you.
Man, we could do a whole show on just connecting that. Because you're talking about being active in your community and plugging into your sphere of influence. Because those people, if they don't know you, then chances are almost zero that they're going to use you for real estate. So you got to start with, do you know them? Then you got to go from there to, do they know you? And then if they know you, how do you build trust, and how do they look at you as the resource? And then the next is, people do business with who you know, like, and trust. So if you've crossed all those, then here they come calling you about real estate. So,
No, my biggest disconnect, and maybe I don't know how many more we have you scheduled for this. Maybe we'll do one with you. I'd love to I mean, you'd be a great person to school me in this, but they know me. They just don't know me as a realtor. Like,
yeah,
not like they said, "Oh, I chose someone else. I'm so sorry I didn't work with you." They were more like, "Oh yeah, we just bought a house," and they didn't even think about it. Like, so that's the
yeah,
there.
yeah. Because in the questions, you're on the phone with you, like, I'm in real estate. Like, oh, God. I mean, gosh, that hurts. I mean, it hurts so bad. That hurts worse than that icy cold water that my buddy jumped into. Man, that hurts. And then when I was early in my career, I would go immediately to calculating what that commission would have been. Like, oh my gosh. I mean, I just left $10,000 on the table because I didn't mention to him about real estate. It really hurts. After 20 years, you're like, business comes and business goes, and I've had businesses fall, opportunities fall in my lap. So there's a specific way you can get if they know you, then everybody knows you, Jesse, likes you, and they're going to trust you. So all you do then, how do you relate it to real estate? Use something related to real estate. There's probably a lot of things we could talk about.
Well, then I don't mean to derail you off your topic this morning, but you asked, what is, if you had a bigger audience, you'd ask, what are people avoiding? That's what I recognize. And so I know when you said I don't calculate the commission I'm missing, I feel my feelings and I immediately went to like, what's the strategy? What have I missed? What's the gap and how to strategically? So that's now it's connecting with these parents in a real estate capacity.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks, Matthew.
Yes, awesome.
Happy to participate with you and share.
Yeah, no, it's great. We won't stick to 30 minutes though. I bet we could go an hour and a half easy with what I have. It happens every time, you know that on
Oh
this.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I don't, I've only got about 10 minutes, and then it'll go 30 minutes, and Autumn's trying to cut me off, and that's how it goes. Next question: if someone filmed my last 100 client conversations, would I be proud to sit back and watch it? Man, that hits me hard because every time I prepare, and this is just me being transparent, Jesse, but every time I prepare for Agent Power Huddle, I feel like I want to bring the energy and bring my best self and be ultra prepared. And I mean, I try to make sure my environment's right. My material's ready to go, the lighting, everything. That's if I'm approaching that in a better way than I'm approaching my day to day. I mean, there you go. Fill in the blank. What's holding you back? Why would you not approach every day that way? My son plays basketball on the high school team, and there is so much about me approaching business and approaching real estate that is comparable to how he approaches basketball. And we were talking about the motivation that he has going into the game. And I said, well, what if the consequences were worse? Right now, what's the consequence if you go out and score 1 point? He had a game where he scored 1 point, literally one. I'm trying to get him to 20. And he scored one. I said, well, what are the consequences? Not too much. It doesn't feel too good. I'm like, well, what if the consequences were just awful? Just awful. I mean, pain and suffering, everything involved. Like, why, I'd probably get closer to it. Well, why not approach every game that way? Why not? Just a mental exercise on how to do that. If you went back and listened to your last 100 client conversations, it's not about perfection. It's about posturing. Are you curious and prepared and present and professional, or are you rushed and distracted and transactional? In real estate, you're building your reputation. It's on conversation after conversation. Here's the next question. Would the future version of me actually want to work with me today? We're all future top performers. If you're not a top performer in your market quite yet, you're a future top performer. You stay in the business and keep growing, you'll be there. If you look back on where you are today, would you actually want to work with the today me? You would expect discipline, preparation, and follow through of the today me. Are you protecting your ego or growing your future? Every agent has moments where growth requires humility. That means getting coached, taking feedback, admitting when you're wrong with a client, asking for help. Your ego will tell you, don't look bad, but growth will tell you to get better. If leads disappeared tomorrow, would I still have a business? I did a training one time of what I would do if I was dropped into a brand new market and I knew absolutely nobody. What would you do? And a lot of times, if you say, well, gosh, I would be just totally lost. I wouldn't know what to do. Well, guess what? That's holding you back in your business, because a business could open in a new market and get started and be successful. What skill am I pretending I don't need? If we're thinking specifically real estate, we might consider video or negotiating or our database discipline in our CRM, or maybe public speaking. There's a wide skill set that's necessary to be truly successful in this business. What skill are you pretending that you don't need? Because if there's something that comes to mind when that question gets asked, then that's the thing. Focus on that. Take that from one of your worst to one of your best. Imagine how that would propel you in your life and in your career. Is my daily routine built for excellence or convenience? Convenience looks at sleeping in, just winging it every day, reacting to emails, working when you feel like it. Excellence looks like structured mornings, protected time blocks, doing the hard things consistently. Real estate success is boringly repeatable. Life success is the same. Small, steady choices mean dramatic burst of motivation. Beats burst of motivation. Now here, I love this question. I've had this one asked before. If you knew that you could not fail for 90 days, what would you actually do? Or what would you attempt? because attempting would be the same as accomplishing. If you knew that you could not fail for 90 days, what would you attempt? Anybody care to, or hear that question and something comes to mind, care to come off mute and share with us? That's a great question to ask. Not, in life, not just for the next 90 days in your real estate business, but if fear of failure will hold you back quick. Anything come to mind, Jesse?
No, that's so interesting because it's such a good question, and I don't have anything that pops in my head, but that's the one where I'm like, that's when I'd want to take some time and like I want to sit with that one. Galen just unmuted herself. Galen, you have something?
I would implement the constant contact program I made or I bought for my agent attraction.
Yeah.
I've got it. I've used it a few times, but I would use it as my CRM for agent attraction.
Is it the fear of failure with that system that is truly the thing that's holding you back from doing it today? You've already invested in it. You have it. You've used it a little bit, and then you stopped.
I think I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I've started a YouTube channel, and I just think it's like and then I've got a ton of business, so that's keeping me from. And I really just have scaled quickly, and I'm putting systems in place so that, like, I hired a personal assistant to help, and I have a assistant that's doing the YouTube channel for me. All I have to do is record the videos, edit and record the video. I mean, edit them, the scripts, and record. So I think, and I didn't have the systems in place because I came from an industry where I had, 5 assistants, and I'm now a solo realtor. And so I've really, the systems lack for sure.
Well, you're giving us a preview of the last part of this call, because if you saw the graphic for today's call, that was the what's holding you back and then 3 ways to leverage. And systems was in one of our 3 ways, because certainly. How'd you find your personal assistant?
It's a friend,
Awesome.
and I
It
know
could be
her work ethic, and we're doing a trial. It's the work ethic and the I don't have to tell her. I mean, like, she's I'm laughing because I told her she's pretty good at bossing around. I'm pretty good at taking direction. She's going to do the things that I need her just to take off my plate. So that's it.
Awesome. Good deal. Well, those are the 10 questions, and I'm happy to share those by email if anyone would need those, or like to review those in the future, but you can always come back and watch this. Okay, the 3 ways to leverage. That was also part of today's training. So we just covered what's holding you back and the 3 things that would be ways to leverage. Number 1 is your time. It's your very biggest asset. Your biggest asset is not your license or your leads or your brand. It's your time. So you got to spend the best hours of your day with the highest impact work. And that's usually prospecting, relationship building, or listing generation. Stop letting the low value task eat your day. Put your money where your mouth is by protecting a daily non-negotiable focus block. So it doesn't have to be the entire day is non-negotiable, but a focus block where you say this is so important that it has to be guarded from everything else that's going to try to take away from it. It's the thing that you do even if the CEO calls. Think of it in terms of that. Where you place your time is where your life goes. If your calendar does not match your priorities, you're lying to yourself about what matters. You control your time or it will control you. Probably as true in real estate as anywhere else. We know that that's the case. Number 2, we just talked about it. Leverage tool number 2 is our systems. Leverage is this: one smart input gives us an oversized output. So just with Guy Lynn that was just sharing with us, think about this. She just said, hey, I want these YouTube videos to go out, and I put a system in place that allows me to record once, maybe do a slight bit of editing, but then I have somebody else that, because I put a system in place, they know exactly what to do, and the rest of it happens. So that's a small effort, small input, big output. So that's big leverage. That's a great way to leverage. Systems are a great way to leverage. Systems can be whenever you talk to your assistant, Galen, you say, every day we're going to do this. Every week we do this. Every listing we have, we do this. Something that really helped me was whenever I came up with a list of, I knew how important listing presentations were, and I started thinking about the preparation for listing presentations. And every time I was in a presentation or come away from one, I made notes about, I really wish I would have had this or been more prepared here, or it would have been great to have this. And so now, leading up to every listing presentation, I have a system, and I say, I'm going to make sure I have this before I walk in. I'm going to make sure I talk about this because it's make my life easier later. So that system makes me feel like I could go on 2 or 3 a day and be prepared, not let things slip through the cracks, that type of thing. The more you can create repeatable processes and systems for your lead follow-up, your listing marketing, client communication, your daily habits, all those things will help. I've got a call at 1 o'clock today with a company that integrates AI directly into our CRM. And I'm excited about that because they're talking about all the leverage that you can do. And they say, well, you're doing all this stuff manually. The AI bot that you could plug in at your direction can do this, 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 this. I'm like, well, gosh, what else can you do to leverage more than that? To all those tasks that you were doing, now the AI can assist with. Structure creates freedom. It's the opposite of what you think. I think that was part of the military training we had coached on, Jesse, on some of the other power huddles that Craig and I did. But whenever we talked about discipline equals freedom, structure creates freedom, it's the opposite, because a lot of people are drawn to real estate because of the freedom. They feel like they could, they're going to be successful with a wide open schedule and they can do what they choose to do. But that does not equal the freedom that they're looking for in this business. Last thing I want to mention on leverage number 3, and this is what Jesse hit on, the people that already know him and like him and trust him in his community that happen to have kids also in the school where his kids are, but we're going to leverage our relationships. Galen just mentioned that. I said, well, where'd you find your assistant? That's a big, big move forward in your business. If you're generating business at 10 to 15 transactions a year, let's say, as early as you can in your career, you hire an assistant. You do that. That's a big, big step forward. Get them doing transaction management, get them doing admin tasks, get them handling paperwork so that you can stay in front of clients. A big piece of leverage. And I said, well, that was my question. Well, where'd you hire an assistant? Because I bet a lot of people on this call are wondering, well, what could I do? Where would I find one? How could I have an assistant? There's so much that I'd rather somebody else be doing, taking off my plate. She said, it was a friend. I knew their work ethic. We felt like we were compatible. We're giving it a trial and we give it a go, but there was a relationship she already had and she's putting in place to help her business move forward. Transactions fade, people compound. You can do a transaction with one person. I just got a call before I started the Agent Power Huddle, and it was a friend from 30 years ago. I answered that call because I figured, well, he's probably listening. He's probably ready to sell, but it wasn't that. But he did have a friend that he works with that needs to buy a home, because when you establish those relationships and you maintain those relationships, hopefully that's what we can focus on that call if we end up doing one together or whatever, Jesse, about that, because we are all part of a country club, a church, a Rotary, a group of people. And what do you do to make sure that you're getting everything you can out of those relationships?
I'd love to do that call. I want some coaching from you, man. I hope you guys know. I popped in because I love listening to Matthew train. Like, you have so much knowledge. You're a great agent. You sell a ton of houses, but it's the fact that you can communicate what you do and help inspire others. I actually had a Gian from our team. He looked up that episode you talked about, which is rebuilding yourself and your business in a new market, that you did a while back. So for anyone who's here live on the Zoom, I just dropped it in the chat box if you want to go listen to that one. It was a super good one. And if you're listening to this podcast version, well, I can't really figure out a good way to post that link because it will only last for like 30 days. So just DM Matthew Hanks on any social platform. Look him up. And Matthew, you can send that link to anybody you want who wants to hear one of that really amazing training you did a little while back. So
yeah, I think that one caught that day was it was crazy that day, and I ended up taking that call from my car. So I think I'm sitting in the driver's seat of my car with my phone like strapped to the dashboard somehow. I did that training. So It's fun to think about. Susan, I think from time to time of, well, why don't we just pick up and move and just drop into a brand new market? So you start thinking about, well, gosh, how would I get a real estate business going there? It would center around relationships, so I can tell you that. I would how many people can I get to know and have them know me and bring value to their world so that when I ask for referrals or offer to help them with their real estate, they would feel inclined to work with us or refer business to us. So
Yeah. I love it. Well, don't let me take you off if you're wrapping up here. I just wanted to say, I love this. I was so glad I was able to jump on live with you, Matthew. I listened to the recordings, but nice to be here live.
absolutely. Hey, it's there's a synergy together when we start working together and presenting. So it's great. The bottom line about the relationship leverage piece that we were talking about is that we're building people and those relationships, not just our business pipelines. That's the sad reality of real estate is you can be busy. You can have 20 transactions a year, 30, 40, and you start the whole year fresh. You have absolutely nothing, but you do have those relationships. That's what you get to carry over. It's like a retirement plan in this business. Your database is your retirement plan in disguise. Think of it that way. I'm all about another training geared towards ways to stay in touch throughout the year, or we're opening a new office, Jesse, an outside office in our community. And for the last, I'd say 3 or 4 years, I've worked from home. And so we've been very successful in that environment. But the thing that I miss is touching people and having an opportunity to get face to face with people. And so we're opening an outside office almost primarily for that purpose, so that we can do events, we can do contests, we can do giveaways, our Thanksgiving pies that we do every week or every year, stuff like that. The outside office gives us the ability, but it's all about the people and about the relationships. So
It's shaping up to be more like a man cave.
yeah, it'll be like a loungy type of space.
Yeah.
But we're excited about it.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for being here this morning. Yeah, I just messaged Autumn, who said she was talking about scheduling with you. So I'm going to see what the dates are so I can be on one of those. We can do a deep dive into some of these things. And Susan, I love you chiming in at the end with your, whether it's a man cave or what it is, I'm sure you guys will make good use of this space. So
Gotta have a man cave.
yeah. Thanks for being here this morning, Matthew. This is wonderful.
Well, it was helpful to me as I think about these questions and I think about the topic. You can apply a lot of this towards other areas of your life, not just real estate, but geared towards real estate, of course. But it helped me, so hopefully helpful to others. I trust that it was.
No, you can't see it because my camera's blurred out, but I was taking notes. These were great. This is perfect. Sometimes you get just what you need when you popped on. Tina, Galen, Leah, Mike, those of you here live, I hope you guys got what you needed this morning as well. Any final thoughts, Matthew?
You mentioned people sending me a DM. You can find me at MatthewHanks.com. All my links are there, whether it's on the personal side or on the real estate side, Hanks Realty Group. Find us online, but happy to help any way I can.
Perfect. Have a great morning, everybody. Good afternoon, depending on your time zone. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Thanks again, Matthew.
Talk to you soon.
See you, Susan.
You got it.
Bye.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.